Hello, everybody. It's wonderful to be here again at the green fields of the Cambridge Event Center. Since I went to Harvard University, I always can't stop thinking. When Sonia said an American monk, I was thinking of something Samuel Johnson once said. He said, an American monk is like a dog standing on its hind legs. It's not done well, but you're surprised it's done at all. So if there's anybody here from Harvard University, my message for tonight, my Dharma message is, there is hope. The way out of Harvard University is long and treacherous, but it is possible, especially if you have a great teacher to lead you. Most of my friends figure it took them 10 years to forget it, and another 10 to forget they forgot it. So why are we all here today? I asked myself that about an hour ago when I foolishly agreed to give this Dharma talk. 20 years ago, when I was a proud undergraduate at Harvard, it was possible to believe in the American dream. Shortly thereafter, well, you all know the subsequent history of the last 20 years. As a result, here we are. You have American people nowadays, not just at the Cambridge Zen Center, wearing funny clothes, doing funny things, saying funny words, eating funny food. And you have Korean people and Japanese people wearing three-piece suits, getting MBAs, designing new computers, and being more Western than most of us. So everything is upside down, inside out, and purple, and most of us feel a little bit lost. Now, when I felt lost back 20 years ago, it was out of fashion. It soon became in fashion, and pretty soon the whole country went through a period where it was completely lost. I think it was televised. It was called the Kissinger Follies or something like that. But there's one important lesson we learned from that, which was not to trust anybody over or under 30. Not to trust anybody who told you that anything was impossible, because my second Dharma message for today is that anything is possible. Anything you want and a lot of things you don't want. When I was an undergraduate, it was very fashionable. We all wanted to know the truth, and then everybody told us that was certainly not possible. It was not at all fashionable to say you wanted to know the truth. What was fashionable was to say that you knew to a certainty that it was impossible to find the truth. That was truth. So was that a little fast? That was what everybody thought. That was called relativism. There was a fancy name for that. My friends who are all more honest would say they're cynics. But at any rate, we said relativism. So what I found was, I really had to look deep into my heart the other day after giving a talk at another college lambasting my alma mater, and I had to think, because in Zen we always say, cause and effect are clear. If you plant green beans, you get green beans. If you plant yellow beans, you get yellow beans. If you do good things, you get good results. If you do bad things, you get bad results. No one will ever get a PhD for saying that. But it happens to be true. So I had to ask myself how I had ended up at Harvard University, and I realized the painful truth was that I wanted to be number one. Well, folks, there are 1,200 people who graduate there every year. Each one of them, they have a little diploma that says you are number one. Please forward your contribution to. At any rate, that mind, I want to be number one. I want to be famous. I want to be. I doubt very much that when Shakespeare was really writing his plays, he was thinking, I want to be famous. Maybe that's what got him to the writing table, but when he was actually doing it, I think he was just doing it, Yeah, he must have had something to say. But the rest of us, just sat there thinking about how nice it was going to be after we graduated from Harvard and we got this telephone call on the red phone from the White House saying, please, sir, now give us your opinion of how to run the country. I kept waiting. 1 year passed, 2 years, 5 years passed. It never came. We were all surprised. So, that's delusion. I have a lot of delusions. I like to think I used to have more, but I'm not sure. And Seung Sahn likes to say that everything is a dream. This whole world is a dream. Right now we're having a good dream, a Zen dream. Outside there are lots of people having all sorts of other dreams. Seung Sahn said the other day, if you're going to live in a dream, if you're going to have a dream, it might as well be a funny and interesting and wonderful dream. Why not? So, the way out of your bad dream is just to wake up. And the way to wake up is, Seung Sahn always tells us, is just to forget about everything. Forget about wanting everything. Anything you want, anything you desire, just let it rest, rest, rest. And ask yourself a big question, which is, well, it can have any words you want, but it sort of generally takes the form of, how did I get into this mess? What's going on here anyway? Most people I know tend to ask that in one form or another. Usually it takes a more opposite form, like, why don't they know what they're doing? But all you have to do is turn it around and realize it's a horrible truth that Buddhism likes to teach, that we are responsible for everything. Everything. We made it. Buddhism says this whole world is created by mind alone. So you can stop blaming your parents and grandparents and fellow countrymen and even Harvard University. I'm going to hate to take that out of my repertoire. I don't know what I'm going to talk about anymore. It's all from your mind. Somebody said, I don't really exist. I'm just a character in your dream. You don't like me? Don't eat cucumbers before you go to bed. So that sounds pretty weird and strange, and of course it is. But, you know, look outside the window. What isn't weird and strange? So if everything is your dream, if everything is from your mind, that means that you can change it completely, as much as you want, as much as you believe. If you believe just a little bit, you can change it just a little bit. If you believe in yourself 100%, you can come here 10 years ago with no money and no English, and a certificate somewhere that says you're a Zen master, which nobody in America knows. And in 10 years, you can have a terrible job going all over the world trying to wake people up. Well, that's what Sunim has done. And we're all suffering for it. But so actually, words are very easy. If you have a real teacher, if you've ever met someone who can demonstrate that he's got it, then you start to believe. We're all very hard to convince, us American folk. We're all very skeptical. And we're all tied pretty tightly to our suffering, at least I am. I always used to be very proud of the fact that I was depressed all the time. And in one of those black moods, I just recently moved to the Providence Zen Center, and I was quite determined I wasn't going to like it. I noticed Seung Sahn just walking into the kitchen one day, and he was boiling some herbs. And he just went to the stove and was checking them, and he just had this big smile on his face, or this very quiet, relaxed, happy mind. He wasn't smiling at anybody or talking to anybody. And that convinced me. I mean, it's like, wow, it's possible. Well, that's getting too serious, isn't it? So, dare to be great. The choice is yours. So, for lack of preparation, I think I'll read a few poems. We gave a course. We were just down in St. Mary's College in St. Mary's, Maryland, which is on the southern tip of the western shore of Maryland. And they used to have slaves down there. And you can still feel it in the atmosphere. When you practice a lot, you start seeing things. But if you tell the right people, you get put in a Zen center instead of a funny farm. So it just goes to show you can control your life. So anyway, we gave, Sun Sahn was invited to give a poetry course in Zen poetry. And poets are wonderful people. They also see things that most of the time we don't notice. So I was inspired to read a few poems about our Korea trip. We went to Korea last October, about 20 of us. And I think I won't say anything about that. I'll just read. Oh yeah, we went to visit the, this is another example of how things are upside down. I saw my first steel mill, steel rolling plant, and nuclear power plant in Korea. So much for American industry. This is called revolution. We don't like nuclear waste. We don't like pollution. We don't want to work like robots either. How did you get here? Asked the Zen master. Did you walk? Hwansei and Bosao. Clank, clank, clank. Yow, hiss, hiss. Vroom! Out they come. Refrigerators, televisions, space heaters, Buddhist, wooden and otherwise. Are you smiling? 10 cents, please. And one more before I get kicked out.
Slow, read it.
Slow. Too quick? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Or test the gun.
Yes, sir. Okay. The wonderful thing about a Zen master is that he will teach you the most simple and important things. So I will try. This is called back and forth, or will the real 10-year-old please stand up? Rich people always want something for free, even a TV set when they visit the factory. I had to work 49 days for mine. Can you believe it? Bump, wake up. Karoom, vroom, vroom. Motorcycles, back and forth at Hyosun. Smiling faces, wide eyes. Can't tell who's more surprised. East meets West. Korean engineers, thank you very much. American hippies and monks, 안녕히계세요. Well, this is called Back to the Ranch. This is for our president. Well, we've had a long, hard trip and all, riding down the highway, trying to rope in the mountains with our silver lariat. Meanwhile, they dancing and bucking like mad. The little ones don't hold up so well as they used to, it seems. Like they don't want to grow up. I'd like to tell them about my day. We couldn't say nothing to nobody without being caned. It made us tough. Boss man, I hope he's satisfied. Got a tall herd to the market, cute as can be. Lots of money in the bank, too. Boys about ready to have their supper, bed down smiling in the campfire night. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Can you touch it? Crash! Out! Wake up. Sunim on the bus with a tray full of apples. Juicy. 감사합니다. Thank you. So, practicing Zen means you can do anything you want, but you better know what you want because you may get it. So, the most important thing I've learned from Sunim is, and I keep forgetting it all the time, is to try to think about other people, or at least try not to think about myself so much. It's very hard if you've been to Harvard. I like to blame it on Harvard. But the wonderful thing about Sun Sunim is that his whole life is for other people. I travel around with him a little bit nowadays, and he's always going in and out of very interesting situations. And he never complains. He may hit people, but he never complains. So it's a fine line, but it's a very important distinction. So I recommend this practice to anyone. I don't know if that's much of a recommendation, but at any rate, Sun Seem is now ready to answer your questions, and he loves hard, tricky, difficult, or easy, sincere, soulful questions. And if your question doesn't help you, it will probably help other people, so please don't be embarrassed, and please ask him something. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Musang Sunim.
You're
I
welcome.
don't understand your speech very fast.
I don't understand your speech ever, sir.
Of course, you don't understand your true self. How can I understand my speech? Yeah, that's okay. I'm sorry, okay?
No problem.
Uh,
I'm used to it.
everybody have a question? Any kind of question, okay?
Seung, what is your true self?
What is your true self? Very, very difficult question.
Difficult.
I ask you, what is your true self? Only that. You only understand one, don't understand two. Do you have eyes? That's not your eyes. How many do you have your eyes? How many? Two, correct. That's your eyes. What do you see now?
You.
Correct. That's your true self. Very easy, yeah?
Alright.
Difficult? Very easy. No thinking. You, that time only you. Huh? There's no subject, no object. No inside, no outside. Outside, inside already become one. That time your mind is clear like a mirror. Huh? It's clear like space means no thinking. No thinking means it's like clear like space. Clear like space means clear like a mirror. Just your eyes, what do you see now? You. Mountain coming, just mountain. Water coming, just water. Woman coming, just woman. Man coming, more man. You coming, you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I understand.
you give me Inca. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, more question. Okay.
When you sit, should you try? It seems to me if you try, then you're trying to do something odd.
Why try?
Should
What?
you try to become whatever? Should you strive for enlightenment, or should you just sit? And if you just sit, is the sitting any different from anything else you do?
Only do it. Only do it. That's very important. Try, man. Was a teaching word. That's a teaching word. Try. Put it down. Go straight. Do it. So or they only don't know or say different word. They are different word, but same point. Point the same. You put it down. Put it down. Don't make anything. Eh? Also, try. They all that different word, but the same point. But if you attach this word, they have problem. Don't attach this word. Somebody try. Somebody put it down. How? What put it down? How go straight? Where's the road? What kind of direction? Huh? Put it down. But what is put it down? 6 feet, that's original nothing. What kind of put it down? Yeah? What kind? Don't make anything. Don't make anything, already make something. Because you don't make anything. So don't make anything, already big mistake. Yeah? But this only teaching word. So if you attach the word, then have a problem. Don't attach the word. Just do it. Now understand? Okay. So I ask you, what does mean do it? Thinking no good. You ask me what is do it. You ask me what is do it.
What is good?
What is right? Yeah, correct word is fight. Yeah. That's the way. Not anything. What is not anything?
That is not doing something.
That's not doing something.
They're not doing
All is
something.
white is not doing something.
What? What to
Does
do?
not do it.
What to do with that? What is that? You make something. That is no good. You make something. That's a thinking. That's a reflect. What is white? Floor is brown. You take glasses. Just sing. Just sing. Just hear. Just smell. Just taste. If you hit, just hit. Okay?
Thank you.
Open your mouth, I hate you, okay? Next open mouth, I cut your tongue. Okay, more question. No?
Should you be given a koan by a teacher, or should you pick a koan?
Oh, kongan means we have this original kongan. Original kongan means long time ago, 6 pechak. That time, one student visited 6 pechak. Please teach me Dharma. Then where are you coming from? Seung Sahn mountain. What kind come here? What kind? What things coming here? You don't understand. So, couldn't answer. So returned to his mountain and said for 8 years, what is this? What is this thing? What is this thing? Sitting. Finally, after 8 years, oh, you say things that's not correct. What thing is coming here? You say what thing that's not correct. Already understand 6 pechak. So give it to income. That is, we say, original kongan. That's don't know kongan. What is this? Don't know. And many kongan. We have many kongan. Some different karma, okay? Many thinking people. Then Kwanzaa Basal. What is Kwanzaa Basal? Who tried this Kwanzaa Basal? Big question. And the Kwanzaa Basal. So different kongan. That's all teacher give to student. Teacher give to student. Yeah. Okay? Do you have kongan?
Now I do.
Oh, you do.
What is good?
Correct. That's original kongan. What is that? Don't know, yeah?
Don't know.
Go straight, don't know. That's number 1, good kongan. Okay? Okay, more questions? Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
What is the relationship then to Christianity?
What is the Zen and Christianity? That's wonderful. Someone asked me, Seung Sahn, do you believe in God? I say, of course. They said, you are Zen master, how believe in God? I believe my hands, I believe my eyes, I believe in this, my ears and the nose, tongue, body, mind. Why not believe in God? I can believe a tree and sky, everything. That's the Zen and the Christianity relationship. Very simple. Yeah, originally this Zen and the Christian never different. Okay, they make it different. Christianity says Buddhism is a bullshit. Meditation, this that's the this what they are some what's that? Many citizens. I want some Christianity people come here. Many people said sitting. Oh, I want one time experience. Then come in here. Maybe short time set, 30 minutes set. 30 minutes. I said That's very boring. So they sometimes don't like, but this Quaker people, they like citizen. They like Zen and Zen student, and they Quaker people always together, no problem. They have a practicing. So practicing people have some understand each other, okay? Because practicing, then you can see your karma possible. You cannot see your karma, then don't understand anything. You can see your karma, then, that's a terrible, my karma, you know. My karma means, we say backseat driver. Backseat driver, strong, like, dislike. This way, okay. This way, okay. All the time, this backseat driver controls you. Backseat driver, Christianity also has backseat driver. Zen student also backseat driver, okay? So, you can control your backseat driver, then everything is no problem. But if you cannot control your backseat driver always control you. No? So meditation, then backseat driver, I like that, I don't like that. Then sometimes, no good, shut up, that's my car. That's necessary, okay? So they, some understand them, okay? Communication is possible. But other kind, also this Catholic monks, some understand. They also practice it, you know. But Christian ministers, some don't understand. But one of my students, Rusty, New Heaven Center, he, Dharma teacher and New Heaven Center director, he's a minister, also minister, Christian minister. So Sunday go to church or working in the church, okay? Then come back, only the Zen student. Then no problem. Then how do you speak? Only change very easy. Only Buddha nature, God nature. Buddha is God. Only name changing only. So any Christian, this church, that his church's people like his speech. So no problem. Because original, you know, our true self or God, there has no name, has no form, okay? Only we say this God, we say this Buddha, we say this mind, we say this original point, we say this substance, something that, okay? So original, this point, primary point, no name, no form, also no speech, no word. People make God, people make Buddha, people make this substance. So that's no problem. Okay? So more question? No? Then I have a question. Long time ago, in China, there's a famous Zen master. Famous Zen master, he's a Rinchi. Rinchi means any kind of question, only cards. What is Buddha? Cards. No? What is mind? Only cards. That's Rinchi Zen master. So other Zen master, this Doksan Zen master, any kind, you know, question, only hit. Hit. What is mind? Hit. What is true self? Hit. Guji Zen master, only one finger. One finger. What is Buddha? One finger. What is Dharma? One finger. Only one finger. But that time, this Magok Zen master, okay, also famous Zen master. That one day, Rinchi Zen master want Dharma's speech, high rostrum, setting. It's not so high, okay, big, it's much high rostrum. Then sit, just sitting over there, want Dharma speech, begin Dharma speech. That time, Magok Zen master appeared. Zen master, I have a question. Okay, what do you question? Avarugije Shibara Bodhisattva, that we say, Kwansen Bosal, okay? Kwansen Bosal have 10,000 eyes, 10,000 hands. Many eyes, many hands. Which one is the correct eyes? 10,000 eyes, which one is the correct eyes? Then this Rinchi Zen master little much thinking. Little thinking. Then soon, you know what, Kanda. Then put it down. Then Magok James are sitting high rasta. No. Then Rinchi James go out over there. Then Rinchi James not angry. Very good face. Then front of this rasta. Then bow to this Magok James, he take out seat, sitting on the rasta. Then Rinchi James go over there, then bow to him. Then Master, how are you today? Talk to the Zen Master, Magok Zen Master. Then little thinking, just this much thinking. Bow to him, how are you, Zen Master? Little bit thinking. Then you cannot. You cannot Dharma speech. Then Magok Zen Master go away. Then he only again sit over there, only hit 1 point, then get up. So, everybody understand? 10, Abaruji Shibara Bodhisattva, 10,000 eyes. Which one is the correct eyes? Thinking, hit you. That's a point. Next point means bow to him, bow to Magok Zen Master, and he asked, how are you, Zen Master, today? That time already good answer. Before little thinking, but come down, already answer for him. So he little thinking. So that this Magok Zen Master put it down, and he sit again. The Magok Zen Master go away. So where is this good answer? What kind of good answer? What kind of good answer? What did you attain? Really difficult. That's okay. Everybody have no question, so I have question. No question? No. Then one more I have question, okay? Also long time ago, in Korea, one monk asked this Mangong Zen Master, Zen Master, what is Buddhism? And Zen Master, the Mangong Zen Master, not say anything, only that time this man is what kind of man? He wants to write down what is Buddhism. So newspaper man, okay. That time Mangong Zen number one is a Zen Master. So I want to hear interview with him, then write down this newspaper. So go over there, ask him what is Buddhism. Mangong only this time. Then newspaper man, paper and a pencil over there. Zen Master, I ask him, what is Buddhism? Again. Maybe Zen Master, can I hear something maybe? So, Zen Master, what is Buddhism? Again. Maybe he think about that. Zen Master, a little crazy. I want a newspaper man, some write down necessary. Only this cannot say anything, no. So then I returned to this big temple. Over there, good friend, he invited him. You must come here, some write down. I was a Zen Master, friend, Zen Master, you ask Buddhism, some write down. Then I talked to the friend. Yeah, you Zen Master, that's terrible. Okay? Because I asked him, what is Buddhism? Then only this type action. I don't understand. Can I write down, How this I write? Yeah, I also don't understand. What is the big question? I don't understand. So you ask this head monk. Maybe head monk explain for you. Oh, head monk? Okay, I ask you, where is head monk? Head monk is Dharmaru. Then Dharmaru go over there. How are you, head monk? Oh, how are you? I am this newspaper man, so I wanted to understand some Buddhism. So I asked this great Zen master Manggong, but Manggong, what is Buddhism? Said only Manggong, only this action. I don't understand. So I ask you, what is this meaning? Then head monk said, only mouse, you know. You, then he did this newspaper. You have some problem? Mouse some problem? No. I ask, what does it mean that? Then again, third time same, you know. So unhappy, you know. On this time, so come now, not interesting. So ask this complex this friend, you know. I don't understand this temple. This everybody crazy, you know. Then he asked, his friend asked him, do you know what is Buddhism? I don't know. Okay, then I ask you, do you understand your mind? My mind? Yes, I understand my mind. Where's your mind? Maybe here, maybe there. You don't understand your mind, yeah? Of course, I don't understand my mind. If you don't understand your mind, so you don't understand this type, don't understand this type. Already, this action already show you correct Buddhism. You don't understand your mind, so you don't understand Buddhism. So, that time soon understand, oh, that is Buddhism. Then return to this capital city, Seoul, then lie down. Only just correct. I first visited this Nanggong Zen Master. What is Buddhism? Then Zen Master this time action. So next action, next again ask again this time. Then next I don't understand. Then head monk, I ask what is this meaning? He said this time. That is a Buddhism. Everybody understands this Buddhism. You write down this. Also this friends and talking story, all talking story. Then many people read this newspaper. Oh, that's wonderful. I want to visit the Manggong Zen Master, you know. There many people come in this, that time. Many people come in here, this head temple, our temple, this Sudoksa. So that time many more famous Zen Master. Okay, so I ask you, somebody, Manggong Zen the first time, this, what is Buddhism? This. Then the head monk says, okay, are they the same, are they different? Yongmeng people understand, but not Yongmeng then don't understand that. Okay. What does mean this? What does mean? Okay. Are they the same, are they different? Don't know, yeah? Okay. We have a good story. There's a story behind it. We have a good story. If you understand this story, then understand little bit. He already talk about everything created by mind alone, okay? Everything created by mind alone. Here, Wonyo-desa in the 1,360 years ago, famous Zen master in Korea. So his story very interesting, okay? Okay, read that.
The story of Wan Hyo.
This story, in the story, I ask question, okay? Be careful, okay? There's some homework we here, homework.
Can't escape. 1,300 years ago, in an ancient province of Korea, there was a great Zen master named Wan Hyo. As a young man, he fought in a bloody civil war and saw many friends slaughtered and homes destroyed. He was overcome by the emptiness of this life, so he shaved his head and went to the mountains to live the life of a monk. In the mountains he read many sutras and kept the precepts well, but still he didn't understand the true meaning of Buddhism. Finally, since he knew that in China he might find a Zen master who could help him become enlightened, he put on his backpack and headed for the great dry northern plains. He went on foot. He would walk all day long and rest at night. One evening, as he was crossing the desert, he stopped at a small patch of green, where there were a few trees and some water, and went to sleep. Toward midnight he woke up, very thirsty. It was pitch dark. He groped along on all fours, searching for water. At last his hand touched a cup on the ground. He picked it up and drank. Ah, how delicious! Then he bowed deeply in gratitude to Buddha for the gift of water. The next morning, Wan Hyo woke up and saw beside him what he had taken for a cup. It was a shattered skull, blood-caked, and with shreds of flesh still stuck to the cheekbones. Strange insects crawled or floated on the surface of the filthy rainwater inside it. Wan Hyo looked at the skull and felt a great wave of nausea. He opened his mouth. As soon as the vomit poured out, his mind opened, and he understood. Last night, since he hadn't seen and hadn't thought, the water was delicious. This morning, seeing and thinking had made him vomit. Ah, he said to himself, thinking makes good and bad, life and death. It creates the whole universe. It is the universal master. And without thinking, there is no universe, no Buddha, no Dharma, nothing at all. All is one, and this one is empty. There was no need now to find a master. Wan Hyo already understood life and death. What more was there to learn? So he turned and started back across the desert to Korea. 20 years passed. During this time, Wan Hyo became the most famous monk in the land. He was the trusted advisor of the great king of Shilla and preceptor to the noblest and most powerful families. Whenever he gave a public lecture, the hall was packed. He lived in a beautiful temple, taught the best students, ate the best food, and slept the dreamless sleep of the just. Now, at this time, there was a very great Zen master in Shilla, a little old man with a wisp of a beard and skin like a crumpled paper bag. Barefoot and in tattered clothes, he would walk through the towns, ringing his bell. Dayan, Dayan, Dayan. Don't think. Dayan, like this. Dayan, rest mind. Dayan, Dayan. Dayan means the great peace. Wan Hyo heard of him, and one day hiked to the mountain cave where he lived. From a distance, he could hear the sound of extraordinarily lovely chanting, echoing through the valleys. But when he arrived at the cave, he found the master sitting beside a dead fawn, weeping. Wan Hyo was dumbfounded. How could an enlightened being be either happy or sad, since in the state of nirvana there is nothing to be happy or sad about, and no one to be happy or sad? He stood speechless for a while, and then asked the master why he was weeping. The master explained. He had come upon the fawn after its mother had been killed by hunters. It was very hungry, so he had gone into town and begged for milk. Since he knew that no one would give milk for an animal, he had said it was for his son. A monk with a son! What a dirty old man, people thought. But some gave him a little milk. He had continued this way for a month, begging enough to keep the animal alive. Then the scandal became too great, and no one would help. He had been wandering for 3 days now in search of milk. At last he had found some, but when he had returned to the cave, his fawn was already dead. "You don't understand," said the master. "My mind and the fawn's mind are the same. It was very hungry. I want milk. I want milk."
Not bad. Not good, not bad, okay? One more step. Okay. Somebody, some attain, some understand from the story?
Would you like some wine?
Why? Not bad. Become crazy, yeah?
How about the meat?
Me?
Yeah.
meat, next life dog become dog. Your snake is like snake meat, then next life snake meat. If you cow meat, your next life cow meat, cow become cow. What do you like? Fish? Next life become fish.
I like tofu.
Tofu! Not bad. Yeah, next time you become tofu. Not bad. Yeah, tofu has then go to Korea.
I have some in my refrigerator. Don't need to go to Korea.
Okay. So, more question, no question. So that is a, yeah, everybody, somebody, I understand my mind, everything created by mind alone. So already this understand. Next, create the bodhisattva action understand. Next, but then bodhisattva action only understand cannot have. So do it necessarily, do it. Only understand cannot have. So when there's also do it. That means precepts, only keep precepts. We have precepts, yes, precepts. We have precepts. All the dharmas, all precepts. Only keep precepts not for me. For other people, sometimes broken precepts help other people less. That's the correct precept. So then precepts means broken precepts only help other people. So they, before me, one heart of monk, broken precepts, no good. Bad feeling. The bad feeling is only for me. Sometimes broken precepts. Even go to hell, you must broken precepts. Go to hell, stay with the hell people, okay? That is one of the story. So something, this kind of thing. But how is we are explained that all things created by mind alone? What does it mean? I ask you this ask, okay? The next, what is a precept? How do you answer? Next, what is a bodhisattva action? Yeah? Three kind of questions. Everything created by mind alone. What does it mean? What is a precept? What does it mean? Next, what is a bodhisattva action? What does it mean? Only speech cannot help you, okay? Long time ago, Bodhidharma soon getting old. So when tomorrow dies, day after tomorrow I don't understand. So I soon go to a different my country. When I die, don't understand. I transmit for you. So everybody got something. Tell me. I check your mind. My Dharma transmitted to you. Then I want to go some place. So that time, many people, what kind of things don't understand. Many people don't understand. Only 4 people up here. First people. That is a tobu. Tobu means what's it? Tobu. Support path. Namely, to means Tao, Do, path. Correct way. Support, correct way. They name the tobu. Tobu, upward. Master, I understand. I attain something. So what did you attain? Then he said, form is emptiness form. Everything is changing. So form is emptiness form. Then he said, Bodhidharma said, you attain my skin. You attain my skin. The next Chongji, that's a nun, woman, okay? Woman up here. Master, I attain something. Oh, what did you attain? Anatta means Buddha's disciple. Very number one, it is a high-cut computer. Because 45 years only secretary, she's a secretary, Buddha's secretary, around any place. Then Buddha all speaking, 45 years all speaking into the computer. Then after die, he only speaks. So nowadays Sura, any Buddhism Sutra, that is from his mouth, not from Buddha's mouth. into the home. So Buddha arrived time, they not learn, not study sutra, only hear Dharma, only action, only try. So Buddha, when Buddha died, nothing, only nothing, only this Ananta computer, inside the computer, all Buddha speak. So that time 200 monks together, they make it sutra. So he high this high rascal, puts his button, computer button, then all up here. 45 years all for up there. So that today it is Buddhist sutra from him. He's much very clever computer. So he is Nan said long time ago this Ananta, he one time visit Amita. Amita Buddha means infinite time, infinite space. The name is Amita. That's Pure Land. We say Pure Land. Pure Land, Pure Land area. That's Amida Buddha is the number one Buddha. Pure Land Amida. He went to the Pure Land and see Amida. I understand. I same mind. I same Ananta's mind. Ananta one time visited Pure Land and he saw this Amita Buddha. Same as our mind. Then he said, you got my fresh, my fresh. The next Boyung. Boyung means grow up, grow up this path. Grow up path. So Doyung. What do you attain? Doyung said. Yes. I attain means our desire, five skandhas are empty. Form, feeling, perception, consciousness. Form, feeling, impulsive, consciousness. Impulsive, consciousness. Perception, consciousness. The five skandhas. Okay? Five skandhas are empty. Five skandhas are empty means there is nothing. That nothing means also have no cognition, have no enlightenment, have no attainment. So I attain no attainment. I attain no cognition. I attain no cognition. I attain no enlightenment. Then Bodhidharma said, you got my bone. Yeah, bone. Next, Hega, the number one disciple, Hega. What did you attain? Then nothing. Not open mouth. He walked in front of him, stand in front of him. Bodhidharma, bowed 3 times. Then he turned to him and said, then Bodhidharma said, you attain my marrow. So transmission to him. So what does mean 3 times bowing? If you attain that, everybody attains the marrow. Bodhidharma has a marrow. So same as that. Open silence is better than open your mouth. Silence is better than holding. Okay. So some kind of do it. That means understanding cannot help you. Understanding cannot help you. Some kind of do it. Very important. Do it. Okay. Long time ago, our students all understand. Long time ago, Roju Master asked Namchon Jama, what is the true way? Namchon Jama said, everyday mind is true way. Everyday mind is true way. Yeah, everyday mind is understand. Hungry, eat. Tired, sleep. Red light, stop. Green light, go. That's everyday mind. Okay. But if you're thinking, have a problem. Many thinking, then hungry time cannot eat. Many thinking, tired time cannot sleep. Tired, but you cannot sleep, Then maybe sleep medicine is in your story. Pure, pure, okay? Then eat. So thinking have problem. When your red light appear, thinking, then pass red light. Then person will come to the ticket. And that have a problem. So thinking then have problem. If you're thinking, cannot get everyday mind. No thinking, just to do it. That's everyday mind. Then Namsan Zenmata, Doji said, Zenmata, then I try to keep it. Keep it. Try.
Should I try to keep it?
Try to keep it. Try to keep it. That try to keep it have a problem. So Namsan Zenmata said, if you try to keep it, already is mistake. Try to keep it have a problem.
The man running to the bathroom and they're really practicing Zen, then, isn't it?
Huh?
A man running to the bathroom
Uh-huh.
would really be practicing Zen.
Yeah, of course. No thinking. But everybody go to the bathroom, they read the newspaper, magazine, have a problem. Or just do it. Then George said, then Master, I not try to keep it. How can I understand two ways? That's the point. I not try to keep it. How can I understand the two ways? That's correct. I not try to. How can I understand two ways? But Namsan then Master said, if you want to understand, that have a problem. The true way means not depend on understanding, not understanding. Not depend on understanding, not understanding. So everybody have some understanding, so just have a problem. Okay? Break down your understanding. Also no understanding. Understanding is illusion, not understanding is frankness. Okay? If you complete attain to way, is correct state. Why do you make wrong or correct? Here that got enlightenment. What is Jojo attain? That's the point. Huh? Don't know. That's correct. What is don't know? Don't know is don't know. Yeah, correct. You don't know. But something attain. Something attain. So everybody, so something attain, if you understand those attain, anytime from later, no problem. If you don't understand, correct, don't know mind is very important. Don't know mind. Only go say, don't know. Maybe somebody say, hit. Somebody say, sky is blue. Somebody say, world is white. That's not correct. Somebody say, maybe wooden chicken fly in the sky. This guy is talking. That's also not correct. Not correct. Only one word, only one sentence, correct answer. Okay, everybody find it. If you find that, you attain your true self and you understand your correct way. Okay. Yes, correct way. So that is the correct way you say truth. What is the truth? True way. His true way, Namsan's true way, your true way, all same true way. Okay. So I hope. More questions? No questions? So have no questions, I cannot get in that,
Okay, I'll give you a question if you like them. I like answers, I like questions.
Okay.
Okay. Like a red light, right?
Red light.
People built like a lot of stops, red light stops, green, yellow light. From their thinking. Their thinking says, well, we build these things so we can help people. That wasn't just doing it, that was thinking, that was developing through a thinking process. So what do you mean put down your thinking?
Put it on your thinking.
Red light or something.
Red light, just a different stop.
What I'm saying, do you think they did? You think they just made that light? Or
red
did
light
they think
stop.
about it? Did they think about making this light?
What
That's
think
big?
you about that? Okay. What kind of thinking?
This is conversation.
I hear you that time. Hey. Can you drive? Can you drive? Red light, then what?
Stop.
Correct. Don't stop. Don't think it. Don't think girlfriend, okay? Then if your girlfriend, then pass red light. Then pass me, we can give you a ticket. You have money?
Yes.
Then no problem. Pass red light, no problem. Okay. Very important. Your center becomes strong. This year, number one bad year, okay? Number one, your newspaper, nowadays. Newspaper, horrible, okay? Many kind of happening. Some earthquake, yeah, they, so, some earthquake up here, many people die. 500, almost 1,000 people die. That earthquake up here, the tornado up here, you know, in Los Angeles, over there, big tornado up here, all fly in the sky. So, the volcano, explode the volcano. Not only that, that now they, Russia and America many fighting. What kind of fighting? Arambam make. Who more make Arambam? Yeah, so fighting. Also now they, I went to Toronto, that one of my students is a lawyer. He told me, last year, in this Ontario state, over there, new lawyer after 1,000 lawyer after. But only got job, only 200. So 800 lawyer finish school, but cannot get job, This much is bad situation. This is society bad situation. So nowadays, many suffering, many people lost the job, have no money. Very bad situation. America is really better, but other countries, India, Africa, or Cambodia, many. Also nowadays, Japan, Korea also. That sorry, in America, little better than in Korea or in Japan, catch cold. Japan catch cold, Korean is lie down. That's it. So America is a little bit, maybe catch cold. This time up here, then Japan already catch cold. Catch cold, then take medicine necessary. Japan catch cold, Korean lie down. But Indian bad already. But this much other country more have problem. USA, America, so it's really bad. So they are lucky, okay? But good situation, bad situation, be careful, okay? Bad situation, good situation. But if you practice good situation, that's okay. Bad situation, that's okay. It means that if you good situation coming, you use it, good situation, make correct. If you bad situation coming, also use the bad situation, make correct. It means that your center not moving. Bad situation also not moving. Good situation also not moving. Only if you bad situation don't adapt to the bad situation. Something I want to try. I want to lighten it. I want to correct the method. So not adapt to bad situation. So bad situation is a good situation. But if you good situation, don't adapt to the good situation. If you adapt to the good situation, lose everything. Okay, so bad situation, good situation. You set a stronger than good situation, okay? Bad situation, okay? Doesn't matter. Any kind of situation, any kind of condition, any kind of feeling coming on, your center is not moving. Then this is no problem. But if your center not strong, then this year, all outside condition, outside the situation, outside the feeling coming on, control you. Be careful, okay? So everybody go home, 10 minutes sit every day. What am I? Clear mind. 3 seconds breathing, clear mind, clear mind, clear mind. 7 seconds breathe out. Dana. 6, your center stronger, stronger, stronger. Finally control your feeling, your concentration, your situation. Then you can breathe in your chest 100%. Then everything is clear. Sky is blue, street green, water is white, dog barking, walk, walk, sugar is sweet. That's all. Okay? Not better. Then is not better. Okay? Everybody. So, only go three. Don't know. Very important. So I hope only go three. Don't know. Your center becomes stronger, stronger. Get enlightenment. Save all people from suffering. Thank you.
We're going to sit for 5 minutes.
Take care of any problems. I've really, after I knew Sunim for a short time, he said, I didn't know him very well, and he didn't speak English very well 8 years ago when I met him, but I knew him for, I don't know, a month or two, and he said, we're going to have a precept ceremony, and you should take these precepts. And I looked at the precepts, and they weren't bad, you know. Shouldn't kill, shouldn't lie, shouldn't steal. I could handle those okay, they weren't so bad. So we had the ceremony, and you got a little burn on your arm, and you get a Buddhist name. It was very nice. It was better than most of the other ceremonies I've been to, like high school graduation and stuff. You know. Still meaningful, you know. I kind of like this, you know, doing it with other people, and it's kind of nice to have the ceremony. And then Sunim gave his talk, and he talked about breaking the precepts. And there's a lot of stories, a lot of very wonderful stories that have come down over the years in the Buddhist tradition and Zen tradition about breaking the precepts to help somebody. And what do you do if you've taken this precept about not killing, and you're standing there, and this rabbit runs by, and goes into this log, and about 2 minutes later this hunter goes by with his gun, and he asks you, where'd the rabbit go? If you tell him that when in there, you were telling the truth, but he's going to kill the rabbit. If you tell him you don't know, then you just lied. Right? Looking, you know, what do you do? And so those rules, all the precepts, rules, anything, are only, something makes a joke that they're like, you know, you go, if you wanted to go from here to New York, you'd go out Harvard Street, and you'd get to the end of the street, and you'd see a sign that says Mass Turnpike, and you'd take a left, and you'd get on the Mass Turnpike, and you'd go and follow the signs to New York, and you get to New York. And there's all these signs that show you how to go, and they're just signs. And when you get to New York, it doesn't matter about the signs. And precepts are these signs that can point you in the direction. That's all they are. You got to get to New York yourself. You got to be in New York, and then you can tell whether you can find your way yourself. You don't need the rules. But a lot of people think, you know, I'm not going to follow the directions. You know, it's like when all else fails, read the directions, you know. People don't want to follow the directions, so they go out there and they end up in Los Angeles when they wanted to go to New York. And they wonder what happened. Or they spend years, you know, up in Canada trying to find New York. That's all. Thank you all very much.
Gymnastics for 5.
Do you have to do anything? I was on a retreat last winter. I read an article that Sonia wrote. And I was reading this article, and I was laughing my ass off. Nobody else was laughing, because nobody else knows Sonia. On the retreat, no one else knew Sonia. And I just got the biggest charge out of it. But one of the things that Sonia said in this article that really struck me, and was so good to be on retreat and read this, was that when we sit with ourselves and stuff comes up, what we don't really believe that all we have to do is just see it. I never believed that. You know, and this is what Sonia was saying in this article, that it's enough to just practice and see what comes up. It's enough to be out in the street and see what the contents of your mind are, and you try to bring your mind back to what you're doing. I always thought, once you start seeing all this stuff, well, you got to start doing something about it. You know, you got to make yourself drop that garbage, you know. And I never believed that you could just see what's going on, and that in and of itself is enough, and that already is complete, just to see it, you know, and it'll change. But I'm beginning to really believe that, and it makes a lot of sense with this incident that I had with David Klinger the other day. You know, I really had a lot of aggression towards David at a moment that maybe had I not been practicing, I would have walloped out at him and said, you know, don't check. Leave me alone, buddy. Mind your own business. I mean, I could have made a whole big thing out of that. And maybe through practicing, it came up and I saw it, and that was the end of it. You know, and I'm able to talk about it tonight. And that's it. You know, it doesn't create a whole other long series of events. And that in itself is enough. You want some more? Is that enough? I hope so. Thank you.
This is pretty good for somebody that didn't have anything to say. Half an hour later. That's good. Thanks a lot for your talk. Does anybody have any questions? Questions, please. Oh, Carlo, good.
How do you like my haircut?
Yeah, that's great, Carlo. You're so cute. I'm really glad that you're sitting up here in the front row so I can look at you.
Yeah, I want you to see my haircut. I love it.
Does anybody else have any questions? Yeah? Well, different people do different things. What Seung Sahn recommends for someone that's just starting to practice is to do a breathing kind of meditation, which is, it gets you off on the right foot, because when you start getting into it, then it feels really good, and so you say, oh, meditation is really nice, you know, it feels really good. And what you do is you say to yourself, you breathe in for three counts, saying to yourself, clear mind, clear mind, clear mind. And while you're doing that, you just let whatever's, you know, going on in your head just sort of evaporate, just really relax. And then exhale. Exhale a really big question. Exhale, don't know. I should probably talk a little bit about don't know, so you'll understand what that means, because that means something in our school. It's part of the lingo. In fact, it's the most important part of our whole practice is keeping this what we call a don't know mind. Right now I'm reading this book every once in a while when I get a chance. It's called Swampland Flowers, and it's by this really great Zen master whose name is Dawi. And it's just letters that he wrote to his students, who were all lay people like us. He was a monk, but his students were all laymen, and he taught in China. And the thing that he keeps getting back to is he just keeps telling everybody, you've got to understand this great affair, what he calls this great affair, which is finding out like why we live and why we die and what the purpose of our life is, and where we're coming from and where we're going. Just all these really big questions that human beings have. And Seung Sahn calls it the great work of life and death, and Dalai calls it this great affair, and different teachers have different names for it, but it's all the same thing, and It's all just keeping us trying to find out what's going on. You know, who am I? What am I? And so if you want to understand what don't know is, or what Seung Sahn says when he says only go straight, don't know, or clear mind, exhale, don't know, then just ask yourself really sincerely, you know, what am I? You know, can you answer? You know, you don't know. You have like this big like open, like what am I? You know, I don't know. Could be anything. And so that's the kind of mind that you want to keep when you're practicing. And so you just breathe in when you're sitting. You just breathe in, clear mind, and just relax your mind. And then exhale. Don't know. This is a really strong question. Like, what is this? What is the meaning of my life? What is Buddha? What is Dharma? You don't need any words. It's just this big. It's like a feeling almost. It's not even a feeling. It's nothing really. It's just being really open to what's happening in the moment. There's no thinking at that time. If you're really keeping a strong question. Does that make sense? No. We have to try it then. Where do you live? Do you live close by? Oh, so you should come over here for practice every night. It really helps to do it with other people. It's hard to make yourself sit down and do it every night yourself. Some people can do it, and I really think that's quite admirable. But I remember before I lived at the Zen Center, I used to say, well, I'm going to meditate for 40 minutes every night. And I'd sit there, and maybe the first night I'd do it for 40 minutes, and then the second night I'd do it for 40 minutes. But the third night, after like 35 minutes, I'd say, well, that's enough, I'll just end right now, and then I'd end. And pretty soon it was down to like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I couldn't. It was hard to make myself do it. Here, if you come to sit here, then you come into the room and then you can't leave again until so you hit the stick. You feel like a jerk if you get up, and walk out, or you really realize what your problem is. If you have to get up and leave in the middle, then you really see your mind in a way that you might accept it more at home. You might accept like your own laziness or whatever's going on, but here it's like, should I or shouldn't I? Should I or shouldn't I? And if you actually have to, if you can't take it anymore, have to get up and leave, and you really see what your problem is, So it's really good to practice with other people. And it's fun. You make a lot of new Dharma friends, and there's people that you can talk to about your practice. And it's not this lonely, special thing that you do all by yourself up in your room somewhere, It's kind of a social thing, too. It is, and I think that's really helpful. A lot of people are really lonely, and so then you meet people that have the same interests as you do, in the same sort of direction in your life, and it helps a lot. This is not a good pitch for the Zen Center for the evening. Anybody else have any questions? Chris?
Well, I do have a question. What is it about don't know reminds me of a funny story.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
I know that people like funny stories.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Zen story that I read, and there was this funeral service, and so they put in the coffin, and then it's time for the priest, for the Zen master to play the usual Sunday phrases, and so he gave a time to say, I want to do this thing to begin with. What did he do? And suddenly, a ray of sunlight shot him to fall hit. Hot, oh, hot! And then he finished it with his hands forever. So for a long time, and I think that, first we all cry and believe in our mind. I think that is very funny, so I don't know, to sit up because we were talking
just what, what is this? And Adeline talked about that a lot too during her talk. She often talked about how she'd be doing something but wishing that she were doing something else or being someplace else, and that part of practicing is just like pulling your mind back in and just being where you are right now and doing what you're doing and really seeing that that's enough. And it's true, isn't it wonderful? And you really see that, that's enough. I find that takes so much effort and so much discipline, but that you really have a choice about it. You really have a choice of whether you're going to be clear or whether you're going to be spaced out or fucked up or whatever's going on. I keep seeing it with myself every day, especially lately because I've been so busy trying to get ready. I'm trying to get ready to go to Korea with Seung Sahn and a bunch of Zen Center people, and we're leaving right after this World Peace ceremony. And there's an art show that I'm helping to coordinate, and my company is going to be exhibiting the crafts that we have there, and getting the company ready to go, and getting the right clothes to wear because I don't have any nice clothes since I just work here all day. I don't have very many socially acceptable clothes, so I have to buy clothes for myself and nice clothes for my daughter, and just get everything all together. And I keep running around. I keep finding myself running around like this mad person. I mean, I just feel this anxiety, this constant anxiety. I wake up in the morning and I come down to bows and I say to myself, "What am I doing now?" And for about 2 bows, I'm bowing, and then pretty soon I'm like, well, if I go to the printer at 9 o'clock, then I can get Mandy to the doctor by 10, and after that I'll go over to Hub Thread and pick up my thread, and then go to Jane's for lunch, and pretty soon pretty soon bows is over, and instead of getting energy, I'm totally wasted. I'm completely wasted. And then every now and then I'll have this clear moment, like I'll be, cooking dinner and chopping vegetables, and all of a sudden I'll be right there, and it'll be so clear to me that, how badly I've lost it, and how my priorities get screwed up along the way. And how can this happen after all this time practicing, That stupid things like running a business and buying clothes and everything would be more important than just, trying to understand this life, Did you ever feel that way? I just keep coming back to that every day at least once. I just really catch myself that I've completely, gone over the edge and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, and I really see that we have a choice. Like if you can catch yourself, then you can bring your mind back, and you can just really get tough with yourself and just force yourself to stay there for a couple minutes. And that it's just a question, I think, of just developing energy, or just if you do that, you get a lot of energy, and then it's easier and easier and easier. But if you just indulge yourself and your spaced out mind, then pretty soon you're completely wasted, and you can't bring yourself back, and you can't be clear. So that's my trouble with and what I keep what I've learned about practicing this week. But it's really it's really important to not let stuff like that get to you. It's like what Seung Sahn calls not checking your mind. It's part of the whole trip of practicing is to lose it and get it back, and lose it and get it back, and that's how your energy grows, and your practicing grows, and your the strength of your practice grows. During difficult times, when each time that you find yourself over there someplace and bring yourself back to where you are now, that each time you get a little bit more concentration, and and so that you can't really, you have to, you know, use what's happening to, or at least to see that you know, even though you're losing it and getting it back, you know, that's not so bad, and that and that you shouldn't like evaluate. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Don't feel bad, Donnie.
Talking to me too. You're all one.
Yeah, we all have the same problems, I think. So Zen just means being able to roll with the punches, and when you're anxious, just 100% be anxious, and when you're clear, 100% be clear, and just don't check. I can't wait to go to Korea because I just keep finding myself thinking about it, and in my mind having these little scenarios of how it's going to be, and I keep saying to myself, don't make anything, but I'm always seeing that my mind is always, I already have this idea of what it's going to be like, and I know that if I can't like let go of this idea, that I'm going to have a really horrible time, because it's not it's not going to be anything like that, and it's so hard not to make anything. Seung always says, you know, don't make anything, don't hold anything, don't attach to anything. And it's such right-on teaching, but it's like, how do you do that? And the only way I know is just to practice every day, and to practice really, really sincerely, and to just keep a big question. If you're really into like understanding this life and understanding yourself, then you just don't make anything. At those moments, then we're just so into what's happening at that moment, and what's happening at that moment is teaching us. We're seeing for ourselves. We're learning for ourselves. A lot of times, I don't read very many books about Zen, but sometimes I'll read a book about Zen, and then I'll think, oh yeah, you know, I know what this guy's talking about, and I understand something about life from that, and philosophy. But that's not real understanding. Real understanding is just moment to moment. Just doing what you're doing, and letting that be your teacher. You know, even if it's cutting vegetables, or putting up molding, or whatever, you know, painting the wall. If you're really there, then in that moment, that's teaching you. Does anybody have any questions? I feel like I'm just rambling on for the sake of saying something. Mark?
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and